Hey, 49ers faithful. Let's dive into all the latest developments surrounding our San Francisco 49ers and break down everything you need to know as we move deeper into the season. One of the stories that has been quietly gaining attention is the emergence of quarterback Curtis Rohr. For those who may need a refresher, Rohr was taken in the 7th round of the NFL draft back in April, picked 227 overall out of Indiana. His journey to the NFL is an interesting one. He was also selected in the 3rd round of the CFL draft, but anyone would agree that the NFL is the bigger stage, and Rohr's focus has always been on making his mark here. Fans and analysts alike have been calling him the Maple Missile, a nod to his Canadian roots and the sheer toughness he's displayed throughout his football career. His resilience is remarkable. Last year, he played through an ACL tear and led Indiana to what was, at the time, the most successful season in the history of their program. This year, he raised the bar even further, guiding the Hoosiers to the college football playoff, where they eventually fell to Notre Dame. Rohr is a fascinating quarterback prospect because he combines size, skill, and poise in ways that fit very well with modern NFL offenses. Standing 6'4" and weighing around 225 pounds at 25 years old, he carries the prototypical build that NFL coaches look for in a pocket passer. His college career began at Ohio, but he transferred to Indiana, playing under Curt Cignetti. Last year was Cignetti's first season, and his coaching style has clearly brought out the best in Rohr, who has showcased his ability to make clean, precise throws, especially on 2nd and 3rd level targets. That kind of touch is exactly what Kyle Shanahan values in a quarterback, particularly given how he designs his offensive schemes and route combinations. Players like Jones and Brock Purdy have thrived in Shanahan's system, and Rohr has the attributes that could allow him to follow a similar path. While he is not known for extraordinary mobility, Rohr's pocket awareness and ability to stay composed under pressure make him a solid candidate to handle the NFL speed. He is not the type to improvise frequently with his legs, but he can maneuver within the pocket effectively without panicking when a blitz arrives. He has shown toughness in taking hits while still delivering the ball accurately, which is a trait that Shanahan clearly appreciated during the pre-draft evaluations. Scouts at the Combine frequently noted that Rohr's skills could make him an excellent scheme fit, sharing some of the same strengths that have helped Purdy and Jones succeed. This season, the 7th-round quarterback finds himself in a unique audition window. With his practice time opening up, Rohr has the opportunity to show the coaching staff that he could be a valuable backup for the 2026 roster. While Jones is under contract and expected to remain the starting quarterback, Rohr could compete for the 3rd-string position or even push for the backup spot behind Brock Purdy, depending on how the offseason unfolds. Speculation around trades, draft declarations, and roster shifts creates a scenario where Rohr could rise through the ranks if he impresses during practice and preseason sessions. Meanwhile, the 49ers have been making moves to strengthen other areas of the team. Linebacker Garrett Wallow was recently claimed off waivers from Denver, stepping in after Ben Bartch was placed on injured reserve following a Liz Frank injury suffered against the Cleveland Browns. Bartch's injury likely requires surgery, ending his season and opening the door for Spencer Burford to take over as the full-time starter at left guard. Wallow's addition adds depth to the linebacker core, which could be crucial as the team navigates the stretch run of the season. The roster adjustments come at a critical time as the 49ers prepare to return from a late Week 14 bye and face the Tennessee Titans in Week 15. Injuries have been a recurring storyline this season, with players like Jacob Cowing facing multiple hamstring setbacks and defensive end Matos working to stay healthy. Matos' return could significantly boost a pass rush that has struggled in the absence of key players like Nick Bosa, as the 49ers have ranked near the bottom of the league in sacks, pressures, and quarterback hurries. Matos brings versatility, capable of lining up at both defensive end and tackle positions, and has consistently demonstrated the ability to generate pressure, evidenced by an overall PFF grade of 75.1 this season and a pass rush grade over 80. Any contribution from him at this stage could be pivotal in shoring up a defensive front that has faced challenges due to injuries and roster turnover. Another name to watch is veteran linebacker Eric Kendricks. While currently on the practice squad, he could see game day elevation against the Titans. Kendricks brings a wealth of experience and consistent production, having recorded over 100 tackles for 9 straight seasons, and his presence could stabilize the linebacker group while adding leadership and savvy to the defensive unit. As the 49ers look ahead to their upcoming schedule, the playoff picture in the NFC is starting to take shape. Despite sitting out Week 14, the 49ers have improved to 9-4, tied with the Chicago Bears. The Rams, currently atop the NFC standings, face a challenging remaining schedule, including matchups against Detroit, Seattle, and Atlanta. The Seahawks, meanwhile, have a slightly easier path, but will need to navigate key games against teams like the Colts and Rams. The 25th week finale at Levi's Stadium between San Francisco and Seattle could prove decisive in determining the NFC West title, and every game leading up to it matters. For the 49ers, remaining focused on Tennessee is the immediate priority, but the implications of the broader playoff landscape underscore the importance of every win. Tennessee enters the matchup off a victory against Cleveland, but the 49ers are favored, with momentum and home field advantage playing into their favor. As the team prepares, questions around player health and depth will remain central. But the combination of emerging talent like Rohr, key acquisitions such as Wallow, and potential contributions from Matos and Kendricks position the 49ers to make a strong push as the season moves into its final stretch. As we move deeper into the final weeks of the regular season, the San Francisco 49ers are facing a critical period where every decision, every roster adjustment, and every snap on the field could shape not only their playoff positioning, but also the development of key players for the future. One storyline that continues to attract attention is the evolving quarterback situation. Curtis Rohr's role as a potential backup or even developmental quarterback for 2026 could have significant implications for the team. If he continues to impress in practice sessions and demonstrates the composure, accuracy, and football IQ that scouts have praised, he may earn a more prominent spot on the roster. His ability to handle pressure, read defenses, and deliver precise throws aligns with the style of play that Kyle Shanahan has built in San Francisco, and there is a real possibility that Rohr could take the next step as a legitimate NFL backup. Meanwhile, Jones remains under contract as the presumed starter, and Brock Purdy's position solidified as a reliable backup. But the offseason could bring changes that shift the quarterback hierarchy depending on trades, draft declarations, or injuries elsewhere in the league. For Rohr, this is an audition that could define his career trajectory, and the coaching staff will be watching closely to see how he handles game speed situations, practice reps, and the mental aspects of the position. Beyond the quarterback room, the 49ers have been actively shoring up their roster to address weaknesses that have emerged over the course of the season. Garrett Wallow's addition at linebacker strengthens a group that has seen its share of injuries, and Spencer Burford stepping into a starting role at left guard ensures stability on the offensive line. Meanwhile, the health of Yours Matos will be a key factor for the defensive front. His ability to play both defensive end and tackle provides flexibility for the coaches, and if he can stay on the field consistently, he could be a game-changing presence as San Francisco looks to generate more pressure on opposing quarterbacks. The 49ers have struggled in this area, ranking near the bottom of the league in sacks, pressures, and hurries. The absence of key players like Nick Bosa, combined with injuries to other defensive linemen, has forced the team to adapt, and adding experienced pass rushers or versatile defenders could help address this persistent challenge. Eric Kendricks, if elevated from the practice squad, will provide veteran leadership and reliable tackling ability, bringing stability and experience to a linebacker group that has seen its share of rotation and adjustments. As for the wide receiver room, injuries have been a recurring storyline. Jacob Cowing's hamstring setbacks have limited his availability, but the team will continue to monitor his progress closely. Maintaining depth and flexibility at the skill positions is crucial, especially as the 49ers prepare for games against Tennessee, Indianapolis, Chicago, and Seattle in the final stretch of the season. Each of these matchups carries high stakes, both in terms of playoff seeding and the evaluation of players who could be critical contributors next year. Looking at the NFC playoff picture, the landscape is competitive and shifting rapidly. The Rams currently hold the top spot, but they face a challenging schedule with road games in Seattle and Atlanta and a home matchup against Detroit. The Seahawks, meanwhile, are positioned to contend for a division title, with critical games ahead that could impact the NFC West standings dramatically. The 49ers, tied with the Bears at 9-4, sit just one game behind in the division, making every matchup pivotal. A victory over the Titans would not only maintain momentum, but also provide a platform for key players like Curtis Rohr to demonstrate their readiness and for injured veterans to regain form. Tennessee enters this matchup following a win against Cleveland, but the 49ers are favored and prepared to leverage their home field advantage at Levi's Stadium. The Colts will follow as a challenging road opponent on Monday Night Football, and while attention is currently focused on the Titans, preparation for subsequent games is equally important. Quarterback Daniel Jones's injury for the Colts adds an additional layer of uncertainty to the remaining schedule, potentially impacting how teams like San Francisco strategize against their upcoming opponents. The Niners' remaining games include critical matchups against Chicago and Seattle, with the final game of the season at Levi's Stadium against the Seahawks likely determining the NFC West champion. The pressure is on, and the team must balance playoff positioning with player development, health management, and strategic preparation for each opponent. San Francisco has demonstrated resilience throughout the season, overcoming injuries and roster changes while continuing to develop young talent. The emergence of players like Rohr, the addition of Wallow, and the potential impact of Matos and Kendricks reflect a team that is not only focused on winning now, but also on building for the future. Coaches and players alike are aware that every practice rep, every snap, and every decision on game day can have far-reaching consequences, both for the playoff race and the long-term success of the franchise. Offensively, maintaining stability at quarterback and ensuring protection for key pass catchers will be crucial. Rohr's development in practice and in potential game situations will be monitored closely, as his growth could determine whether he becomes a long-term asset in Shanahan's offense. Defensively, the priority remains generating pressure, limiting opposing quarterbacks, and maintaining flexibility along the line and in the linebacker core. With the season entering its final stretch, depth, health, and readiness will be the differentiators between teams that advance and teams that fall short. The Niners have the talent and coaching staff to compete at the highest level, but execution, consistency, and staying ahead of injuries will be vital as they aim to secure a strong playoff position and contend for the NFC West crown. Every matchup is a test, and for San Francisco, the opportunity to showcase resilience, talent, and adaptability continues with each game in the coming weeks, setting the stage for what could be an exciting and pivotal conclusion to the regular season. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. A low hum of unease has been building around Santa Clara, and in the last 48 hours it has turned into something closer to a roar. According to whispers circulating among team staffers and league insiders, head coach Kyle Shanahan may have reached his boiling point. The usually composed architect of the 49ers' powerhouse operation is said to have erupted behind closed doors, unleashing a tirade that stunned those present. The most striking line, repeated again and again in rumor mills across the league. He allegedly referred to 2 locker room cancers and vowed to eliminate both. No names have surfaced, and no one is willing to go on record. Still, the very idea of Shanahan, known for his meticulous calm and strategic clarity, losing his temper has triggered a wave of speculation. Some insiders insist this was less an explosion and more a calculated message, a signal meant to jolt a team drifting off its usual axis. Others whisper that internal tensions have been simmering for weeks, with small disagreements snowballing into something far larger. Players have been tight-lipped, moving through hallways with the stiff caution of those aware that every glance might be interpreted. Staffers, too, have adopted a sudden diplomacy, offering polite smiles but no insight. Yet the energy around the facility feels unmistakably charged, as though everyone senses a storm forming just beyond the horizon. Whether this rumored outburst marks the beginning of a deeper rift or a strategic attempt to reset the team's internal chemistry remains unclear. But one thing is certain: something is shaking the foundation of the 49ers. And until the truth surfaces, the league will be buzzing, waiting for the next tremor in a story that feels far from finished. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.